Creating hundreds of cards is fun, but making each one of them fun, fair, balanced, worth playing, that's where the real challenge is. So today, I'm going to take you behind the scenes in balancing the cards of Eden's Fate. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Development Journal for Eden's Fate. So, last couple weeks we talked about designing the hero cards, the strategies in that, design behind those, and then the creation of Eden as a whole, the world of Eden, and the 8 realms that make up Eden, and the world of Eden, and how those strategies and how the heroes, how they affect the game, and some of the lore that kind of goes into that, and gives them a story and a history. But none of that really matters if all the cards, if they're not balanced. So we're going to talk about that today. Every card in the game of Eden's Fate has a cost, a realm identity, an ability, and before I even put numbers on a card, I'm thinking about what role the card is supposed to have in the game and in the world of Eden. And specifically in the card game, what role it's supposed to play uh, and where it fits. When designing these cards, I'm not so much worried about the biggest, the baddest, the strongest, the toughest. Uh, for me, if it's going to support, defend, control the battlefield, generate resources, um, finish games, and when in all through these cards, if every card is trying to do all of these things, it's just not going to flow right. It's not going to have you're not going to have a good game at that point, and they're definitely not going to feel unique. Playtesting has really opened up my eyes to several things within balancing these cards, and some things that have been a little bit too overpowered, and some things were just kind of not necessarily pointless, but didn't have like a true feel within the game, within the flow of the game. No, um, it just didn't fit. And some of the smallest changes that I've made within these cards and how they play has really made some of the biggest differences, honestly. Playtesting has really been uh, well worth it. Cards that looked amazing were actually not very effective. Cards that looked a little weak were pretty strong. Sometimes just changing one stat by one number kind of makes all the difference for how a game can go and how a card plays and affects the game. Balancing the card game of Eden's Fate, it's been very fun, very rewarding, very eye-opening, learning curve for me for sure. But also, it's when balancing this card game, it's not so much that everything's equal. There's an even playing field for every card, but it's just making sure that every card has a purpose. Not one card's trying to do everything. Not every card's trying to do all the same things. Every card is unique. Every card has a purpose and fits within the game and the strategies uh, where whatever realm it represents and comes from. Being able to give players the opportunity to kind of represent their own strategy and play style within this game um, has been really cool. And honestly, one of the most rewarding things in designing this the world of Eden, but also especially the card game, and allowing players to be able to make their own choices, uh, put their own strategies to work, and see what works. Um, and that way they're winning the game, not so much like I won the game because I had the best card, but I won the game because I had drew the right card at the right time, but also I made good decisions, made the right decisions with my cards and how I won the game. Not so much because like, oh, I had all the strongest cards in the game, like my deck was broken. No, that's not what we want. And just a quick update on development of the game as a whole is like I always say, for sure playtesting. Playtesting is the biggest thing. But the card templates are getting closer each week, day by day, that I'm able to put some time in on them. Kind of finalize the card templates. Um, each card type has its own, template and look to it. That way, they're easily not only it makes them a little more unique and have their own identity, but also they're just able to They just look better when they're all, different to a point, and easily recognizable across the table. So you're not trying to like tilt your head and break your neck looking at, certain cards and shapes and colors and all that. All the colors are there. Um, but the card types themselves are distinguished and unique enough to be recognizable from across the table, and just add their own flavor to the game. That's important to me. But balancing, it's not something you just do once. It's something that you are going to do and adapt and change as the game grows, and especially as uh, other editions come out, new cards, new characters, new stories. Um, for these other editions that I have planned to come out if this thing launches. Um, but the strategies and the ideas behind those strategies and everything, there's always something new. There's always something interesting. There's always something else to try, to change and update, and just gives the game a whole unique feel. Um, in my opinion, gives it its own flavor in the world of card games. And every play test, every piece of advice, every opinion, every piece of feedback, it just helps me put into the development process as a whole, and making this game, this project, making it the card game in the world of Eden, making Eden's Fate the game that I envisioned from the start. Uh, and that's awesome. On the next episode of Eden's Fate Development Journal, I'm going to dive into the card types, all the different card types, and why each one is different and unique and has its own uh, look and style, and purpose for inside the world of Eden, but specifically inside the Eden's Fate card game. So join me next week on the next episode of Eden's Fate Development Journal. If you've been here from the start, uh, glad to have you back. And if you're just joining me on this journey, glad to have you as well. Look forward to seeing everybody next week. Thanks.